So I just realized
It's not the radio.
I just realized we had no audio for the start there. So we got audio now, though, I
they
believe.
didn't-
So there we go.
they didn't hear
So
your
They didn't hear the
poetry.
poetry. So
Right over.
I'm gonna read a different one, man. We'll do this really quick because it's the Maverick Rose Poetry Hour, not the Maverick Rose Music Hour.
Poetry.
I'll read this one.
It's
This one's
the
short. We'll
poetry
do this one.
page.
So if you can hear us now, yeah, there we go. All right, we're good. This one's called Taken. Where have you taken my love, sweet angel of the dawn? I stroll solemnly through the shadows. At midnight, I weep for lips I'll never kiss. As my tears bless the ground once more, I raise my eyes to the moon, beholding its splendor in the star-filled sky. And in that moment, a smile runs across my face. As I realize the amber jewel shines its light upon you too. May your heart return to me. I whisper your name under my breath, a sacred prayer that I keep inside, just under the surface. With every heartbeat, I long for you, my perfect dream. If you're into the poetry book
Love
volume
the poetry.
1 and volume 2 available at MaverickRoseMusic.com. Go there, check it out. Check out all our other social media links. And while you're at it, make sure you check out our sponsor, Rescue Wood Rehab. We got Marty. He's going to come up and say a little something for us here.
Woo-hoo.
And also check out Niche Wine Lounge. We get that going on as well. So speaking of Marty, there's the Marty cam right there. It's technically the Andy cam. You see Andy in the background.
Can you see him?
I can see them. I can see them both right there. And Andy's got our specialty cocktail themed to our album of the week, our nice vinyl of the week, very nice vinyl of the week, which is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. But we'll come back to that later. What do you got for us, Marty?
Well, hello, Maverick.
Are you drinking a Bowie bomb right
I
now?
am drinking a Bowie bomb.
How is it?
It's delicious. Absolutely
Was it made?
delicious.
Was it made just for you?
It was. It
was.
was
It
a
was
special
That's
one.
right.
It's yummy. It's yummy. Everybody needs a Bowie bomb.
Nice.
What's in it? What's
that's
in
it.
it?
It's rum based.
It's
It's
rum based
rum-based.
and is delicious. It's a special cocktail mixture by Andy. So
We love that.
yes.
Good job, Andy.
Hey, Andy, come wave at everybody on cam, man. Let's see right. So Andy is Niche Wine Lounge's own absolute cocktail specialist, man. He is a mixologist. He makes all of the best beverages. He makes the non-alcoholic beverages, the alcoholic beverages, anything that you need to make it taste good. He's got you covered.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you.
All right. So
It's-
talk to me, Marty.
It's
How
delicious.
is it? It's
Well,
delicious.
the
huh?
Maverick Rose Music Hour is brought to you by Rescue Wood Rehab, a custom woodworking shop in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. We'll do everything from sell you a piece of wood to build you a custom project and everything in between. We have our marketing director, Bud the Shop Dog, always available for pets. And if he's not, he's at home. He takes the days off because he can.
He's available for treats too.
He's always available for treats. Yes,
Always
he is.
available for treats.
We might get him on. He occasionally comes on camera. So if you never watched the show before, we do have a Bud cam. We'll be picking Bud up as the night goes on, I'm sure.
He'll
Bud
come-
will be available.
He'll
absolutely.
come and get caught in all the.
That's
Yeah,
right.
He does not need to get caught in the wires. So,
That's right.
we're here at Niche Wine Lounge.
Yeah, we
and Niche
are.
Wine Lounge here in Holly Springs, North Carolina, and some of the best cocktails and some of the greatest live music you'll hear 6 nights a week
That's right.
at the Niche, and the only place around that does live music 6 nights a week, and it's just fantastic. We got great performers around here, and it's just awesome. And also, you got a special event coming up with you, Maverick.
That's right.
We've got
Woo-hoo.
Puppies and Poetry on the 18th
That's
of
right.
February.
So if you're into the poetry like we did at the beginning,
get any better.
It's going to be some poetry, some live music. We've got a raffle for television. We got other raffles. There's going to be vendors here, food, all kinds of delicious stuff. Puppies, Perfect Match, who we'll talk about a little bit later during our Talk Doggy to Me segment on the show.
Yes.
Lots of puppies.
Lots
I
of puppies.
can't wait
yeah.
to hear the show. Good luck, and thanks for having us, Maverick.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Enjoy
for
your Bowie
coming.
bomb, my friend.
I think we should say that Holly Springs, we keep talking about, is near Raleigh. We're right outside of Raleigh.
It is, yeah. So if you're watching on the internet and you are unaware of where Holly Springs
Which
is,
most people would not.
right? But Raleigh is right down the street.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Yeah,
we
we're
are
in
right outside Raleigh.
one of the suburbs there. So
That's
that's
right.
good. That's Raleigh is a
Raleigh.
suburb. Right. Ted's got us.
Someday, maybe. Someday,
That's right.
maybe.
That's right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am Maverick, your host. We've got Darcy here as host. We got Jim, the master cylinder.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jim's really excited to be here.
He is actually, though.
I know.
That's the thing.
now they missed my whole podcast.
I know.
comment.
So you said you didn't know what a podcast was.
I can't say that again. It would lose its
Authenticity.
I just said I haven't seen a podcast. I didn't know what it was. I assumed it was some kind of medieval crotch protector.
Not a codpiece,
Have
a
you-
podcast.
have
That's a
Have you
different-
watched ours from last week?
No, I saw the picture of me slouching and I was out.
Yeah, Jim
Some-
said that he doesn't like to watch himself.
I don't, which makes shaving tough, but
Well, we're both kind of sitting up more this
yeah,
week.
I'm trying.
Because we were
That's right.
slouching.
Regular-
We didn't
yeah.
mean to.
So it's a work in progress. We're learning as
It
we go
is.
along. But we do want to thank all of our supporters, the people who have been here in person, on location, because we do film in front of a live studio audience here. And we also want to thank everybody who watches online. We had a lot of positive responses from last week.
Thank
and
you. Yes,
we're
thank you.
hoping to keep this going. So
Please
what we're going to be
subscribe.
doing going forward, yes, please subscribe.
Please.
And we are in certification to get stuff up on Spotify and iTunes as well. So it'll be available as an audio version. And we're planning to do basically 3-month seasons. So what we'll do is after 12 shows, we'll kind of change format slightly, and we'll cover different things. So instead of our sick burn segment,
This is
and our
awesome, 'cause
album,
this
we'll
is
do
news
things-
to me.
That's right. So we're just
Did you know this?
it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. But anyway, so a season,
I like it.
a season
I like
of the
it.
Maverick Rose Music Hour will essentially be 3 months. So every 3 months, we'll slightly change format. Basically, I'm just going to have them change seats, and then that's going to be it.
I'll be reading from my biography, which is called I, Whoremaster.
There you go. All right. That's all you need to know.
I beg
right
your
there.
pardon.
You're a little spicy
Okay.
tonight.
All right.
You're
Jim
spicy
is hot
tonight.
and on fire.
I
so.
meant whoremonger.
You're just spicy
Oh
tonight.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. What have I gotten myself into?
All
So
right.
anyway, that's who we are. That's what we're doing. So if you're just joining us, the Maverick Rose Music Hour. One of the things. So last week we talked about the Super Bowl. Now that
Yeah.
the halftime show has happened, what did you guys watch it?
You know, I gotta say, I know I said I didn't like spectacle
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit. I haven't seen anything like that other than maybe like 15 other Super Bowls.
Right, right. Yeah, they have a way of taking over top. I really appreciate the fact that Taylor Swift went to an Usher concert.
There
That was
you
pretty
go.
nice. So
You know what I liked is that he didn't lip sync.
yeah,
Because so many
No,
of
that
them
was-
do,
yeah.
and you could tell that was not lip sync.
Usher.
It was
Alicia
good.
Keys sounded good, and
Yeah.
HER can wail. They didn't give her enough time, though.
Yeah.
But,
There was a lot of people in that show.
yeah.
it's impressive, man.
And the roller skating.
That's right.
And there were, at some point, there were like people flying. There were guys in hats, which I liked for a little while. Then
So-
there were people flying around in the back.
Yeah.
And I think it was that guy who looked like a reject from a Mad Max movie in the beginning there, throwing people around, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You noticed way more than I did.
So, speaking of spectacle and wild shows that occurred this weekend, you have not heard this story yet.
Okay.
So we played at a brewery close by here, Southern Peak, out in Apex, and
Another suburb of Raleigh.
that's right. And we were. I'm known for taking my shirt off, but I'm also known for climbing on top of bars during shows. And
And walls.
I have kind of a
Tables.
there's kind of a formula that I follow. The
Right.
shows are pretty similar.
While I sit on the chair expressionless.
That's right.
You really do.
So
You make no reaction whatsoever.
So during the course of the evening, I was like, I'm going to do things a little different. Tonight, I'm going to get up there during the Rolling Stones portion of our segment. So during Let It Bleed, I get on top of the bar, and I go from one end of the bar to the other. And then I was like, I'm going to hop down
Oh, no.
and sit on the edge of the bar. And when I went to hop down, the top of the bar was sticky and my foot stuck. And so I fell backwards and threw my arm into a highball glass, and it shattered. So I've actually got
Oh my
cuts down my
gosh.
arm, and blood started pouring. We were doing Let It Bleed by the Rolling Stones. So
Get
I get
out,
back on
get
stage, and
out.
Jim goes, don't, because I was like, we all need someone we can bleed on. And Jim goes, don't bleed on me, because there's just blood coming down my arm. It's like the most rock and roll
Did
thing.
you get
that's-
Did you get a lot of
that's ever
applause
happened.
for that?
I feel like they enjoyed it. I talked to the bartender after. He had to clean up the bar, and he looked kind of annoyed. And I was like, I'm sorry, man. And he was like, no, I'm just glad I was here for it, because I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it happen.
Oh, I wish we had video of it.
Yeah. Oh, look, Bud.
Here's Bud.
There's Bud. Let's see if we get a little bit better shot
So
there.
come to the shows. There will be blood.
Sometimes.
Maybe.
Sometimes there will be blood.
They-
Yeah, that was one of the most rock and roll things that's ever happened to me, falling into a glass
that
and
must have
bleeding
hurt.
during
That
Let
must
It
have
Bleed.
hurt.
Nah, I popped
Didn't
right
hurt?
back up. It was
I
fine.
popped right back
It's
up.
rock and roll, baby.
But I like it. But I like it.
But I like it.
There you go.
I dropped my lozenge. That's all that happened to me.
That was pretty significant too, though, man.
Bud would have licked your blood off. He would have probably. I don't know. Isn't that
That's
what dogs
wild,
do?
man. That's wild. They do. They're like nurses right?
Yeah, they're furry
they'll take care of
nurses.
you, that's
There
right.
you go. There's
That's
a
right.
furry nurse. He doesn't like that.
Jim.
No, never mind.
Last week, Jim suggested that we discuss our favorite decades of music. So I'm going to let him take this
Just
segment.
because it's obvious of who we are, you know.
Sure,
if we
yeah.
want
So
to.
as an extension of introducing, so that we build the community, we get to know you, you get to know us. We're going to talk about our favorite decades. I'm going to let you start, Jim.
And
Tell
the
us.
discussion that could ensue, is it everyone's favorite decade when they grew up first listening to music?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a
'Cause
great
mine's
point.
the 60s when I was growing up.
And
And I will still say the 60s is easily the best decade, but maybe it's just because, you know?
That's a good point, because mine is the 80s,
Yeah.
which I grew up in.
Well,
and
you're
have
wrong.
and have great memories of. And you know how songs can place you where you were,
So,
right?
you're
So
wrong.
I think you're right. It probably is. What is yours?
So this is very difficult for me because my
You're
default,
deeper than we are.
I don't know about that, but my default answer would be the 80s. But if I really think about it, most of the bands that I like from the 80s started in the 70s. You know, when I think about like Zeppelin.
And you're not an 80s
I-
baby.
I-
you're too young
Well,
for that.
I was
right?
born in '85, so I caught
Yeah,
the tail
but,
end.
well,
yeah,
but
no.
you know what I mean. You didn't grow up in it.
But I think about I like Zeppelin, I like Aerosmith, which Zeppelin would have been the late '60s, but the big hits, the songs that I'm drawn to, a lot of that '70s, Floyd, Pink Floyd, Jethro Tull, which technically a '60s band, but their hits come from the '70s. So a lot of the bands that I like either started in the '70s or had the heavy parts of their career.
And we have
were in the
different
70s.
'80s versions because I'm like the Bee Gees and all, right?
Right.
So it's very different.
But to be fair, I like all of that stuff too. That's why I said my default answer would be the '80s. But I think if I really analyze it, most of my favorite stuff's actually coming
70s.
from the '70s.
So you grew up here in what, though? 90s? When you were
I
like in
get,
your
I
teens?
was coming up during the '90s and I hated it.
I don't even think I know music from the '90s.
Yeah.
I mean, I really can't think of any. I mean,
So I didn't.
our daughter does.
Growing up, all of my friends, or most of my friends, like stuff like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and the grunge scene and the stuff that came post grunge, and that was never my scene. I didn't care for it. I didn't actually start listening to that stuff until I was in my 30s, and I went back and I was like, "What is everybody talking about? Why is this stuff significant?" And now I appreciate it, but in a different way. It doesn't. I don't have those memories. I don't have that
Well, yeah, right.
that meaning. Yeah.
But you know what I think has changed for the decades or what your music is Sirius XM, because you listen
Yeah.
to what you want to listen. Like, I
Right.
don't know the music of now. I just don't, because I don't
Neither do
listen.
I.
Because I don't listen to the radio anymore.
Yeah.
So, I've got the 70s and 80s on, and
Yeah.
Margaritaville,
Right,
and
right.
Howard Stern. And
Everyone gets to stay in their lane now, which maybe isn't a good thing back
well,
in
yeah,
the
because
day.
then I don't know.
Yeah.
You'd hear some of everything.
That's true.
Because I think Usher was good, but honestly, I don't know his music.
I didn't know any of it either.
Well, I can't say that. I do love Usher.
I think
but-
there was...
Usher.
Did they have a duo song, Be My Boo or something? Boo Boo the Bear? I don't know what that is.
What, last night?
So in 1969,
Yeah.
I saw Led Zeppelin when they were first formed.
Nice.
The Hampton Beach Casino in New Hampshire.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
It's like $4.50 for the ticket, I mean, $4.50.
Tickets
Oh
are
my
so
gosh.
expensive now. Oh, my God.
gosh.
They're awful.
Oh wait, so Zen says that it's the '90s for him, but he's a '90s baby, so he agrees. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of the same.
I
like
think
it's
you're
the
right,
music
though.
that you came up on, right?
It's the music you remember and associate
What's
with
your
things.
what's your favorite '90s band, Zen? I see you there in the chat, and there's a little bit of a delay because we're streaming,
Is it?
obviously.
Okay.
So it'll take him a second anyway. Yeah, what's your favorite '90s band? We'll wait on that comment there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Zeppelin for $4.50 in '69.
Yeah.
Nice.
$450 would be cheap to see them
Oh,
now. Really cheap, right?
Like really cheap. Even back then, that would have been pretty cheap, though. No,
I heard Pink
that's
Pink tickets
pretty
are
pretty
400.
typical.
yeah.
Yeah,
Pink tickets here in Raleigh are $400.
$400.
There was a place called the Tea Party in Boston where in the 60s you'd see they'd have a band every night, and I saw the Who there, and the place was as big as this little room,
Yeah,
and,
that
and
must
they'd
have been
have
awesome.
like Lou Reed on Monday, Led Zeppelin on Tuesday and Wednesday, the Who on Thursday. It's like every
And it was
night.
free.
yeah.
No, it was like
Oh, that was the 450.
those were like $4.50.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Can you
Anyway, I don't
imagine?
mean to hog it with all my. I
But
just want to say the '60s and then the '70s, I was starting to lose my faith in where music was going. The '80s,
So
a lot
I
of
want
one-hit.
you.
'90s, I was out completely.
You and I have had this conversation before.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you talked about was the 60s promised something.
Yeah.
You felt like you were breaking out. And certainly, if you go back and listen to the 40s and 50s and you listen to the 60s, there's a massive change, light years
Huge
change. And then it was almost like that was promising something. There was a future that was coming.
Yeah.
Who's the next Beatles? Who's the next?
Yeah, that
who's
was
the next
big.
Who? Who's the next? Whatever. And
But it was also TV too, right? That exposed everybody.
That's true.
Ed Sullivan Show.
That's true.
Beatles, right?
So
You could
Yeah.
see more.
one of the things that's interesting, though, and Jim's perspective on this has been, I don't want to speak for you. I mean,
That's
obviously
all
you
right.
say,
Go
but
ahead.
I think it's a very insightful thing that he said, is that the promise was never delivered on. It was, okay, what's the next thing? And instead of it getting better, in many ways it's devolved to the point now that we have teams of songwriters, everything's electronic. And I'm not saying that there's no talent or there's no skill out there, but it's a completely different thing.
It's a whole new game. It's a whole different game.
To me, the last 4 decades of the last century, so the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, that is the golden era of music. And it was the only time, Stephen Van Zandt said that it is the only time in history where the most popular music and the best music were the same thing. Because now I would make the argument that there is good music out there, but it's not the most popular music.
Well, it is to some people, though. I mean, right?
It has to be, right? People are buying it.
People are buying it. People are liking it, and
But objectively,
And
I don't know that it's
Okay.
objective. But
Zen says Green Day is his favorite 90s
Okay.
band. Okay.
I've
all right.
heard stuff I like by Green Day, I got to
Yeah.
admit.
they're a '90s band. I didn't even know that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Didn't they start in the '80s or not? '90s?
No, it was like
Oh,
90,
I don't think it
91,
was the
something like
80s,
that.
yeah.
Dookie came out.
Just go. Let me hit one more thing on the '60s. It
Yes.
felt like more than the music. Like 1969, 2 things happened
Nice.
in a very short period of time. There was Woodstock, and then there was Altamont and Charles Manson. It's like something just shifted all of a sudden.
Evil.
Yeah.
Evil.
true.
Evil
It's true.
happened. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. It did.
All right.
I came down to North Carolina for a music project with a friend of mine, and crazy stuff happened. I thought I was coming down for Woodstock, and it ended up being Altamont.
But it was freedom of expression, right? That you just didn't have before.
Yeah.
That
There's
kind
some,
of music brought that.
There's some good documentaries out there on Altamont. Definitely go check that out.
I don't know what
if you're
Altamont
unaware.
is. What's
Yeah.
Altamont?
That's a Rolling Stones concert where
They had the Hells Angels as
Hells
security.
Angels killed the
and-
guy in
Oh,
the
I
audience.
did
killed
hear
the guy,
that.
and
Yeah,
it
I've heard
just-
about. Where was that?
You went in Altamont, California.
California.
Yeah. And it was the Grateful Dead were there, and they were like, "This is the wrong vibe," and they left.
Yeah.
Like they were just
Wow.
like they could tell that it was in the air that it was going to turn violent.
somebody decided
um,
Hells Angels should be the
Security.
police the concert.
Yeah.
And
It's wild.
that's back when Hells Angels were not nice guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like now they bring
They weren't the
kids to school
'60s
and-
corporate lawyers that they are now, riding around really looking cool.
That's
And escorting
sad.
kids to school and stuff they do.
Yeah.
But that's
you know,
when all the
doing that.
drugs came about too, right? I mean, there was a
Yeah,
lot of
it
that.
was, yeah.
Well, it probably was always there, but
So the interesting thing about that, and that's a good segue, because we said we were going to talk about drugs this week and their impact on music, and it's a mixed bag because I'm straight edge, so I don't even drink, but if you look at the impact of drugs, obviously there are tons of overdoses, there are tons of people that have even alcohol,
yeah.
But also, we wouldn't have had the psychedelic movement. We wouldn't
No.
have had a lot of the most popular music of all time was written on drugs.
A lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
it.
I have
and
heard
it
it
shows
said-
in some of it.
And I've heard it said that the different genres of music are influenced by the different types of drugs.
Well, that's
so
interesting.
psychedelic stuff, a lot of that was written on acid.
Right.
A lot of the more hippie type folk stuff is written on weed. A lot of the more modern stuff has been written on Ritalin or Xanax or whatever.
Right.
And you can hear that in the music. The
That's really
80s and 90s is a lot of heroin, a lot of cocaine, and you can hear that in the types of music and the things that
Yeah,
are going.
The fast
Yeah.
pace.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was interesting. Your guy, Steven Tyler, I saw him being interviewed the other day.
Yeah.
And he was talking about his journey of becoming sober, and
Yes.
he said he would not wish his hell on anybody.
Yeah.
And it seems as you grow up and get older and you've done years and years and years and years,
You become dependent upon it.
yeah, and then it's hard.
I've heard multiple interviews from people who were saying that they learned to play their instrument while they were messed up. And so then when they become sober,
They can't play.
they have to relearn how to play.
Right.
I was Justin Hawkins of The Darkness was talking about a lot of their song structures are blocky, so that even when he was drunk or high, he could remember, okay, if I start here, I just drop down, I move up, and then so even messed up, you can find the chord because it's a pattern.
Well, and I think you're both musicians. I'm not, but
Yeah.
you know the thing that some musicians or artists are tortured.
Yes. Yeah.
And does that have some play in it? Does that have something
Sure.
to do with it?
I think the self-medicating,
Which comes first,
it's therapeutic.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It helps get through the day.
And I can say I haven't always been straight edge. I mean, I used to drink a lot, and I think there's something to that.
That it's a need.
Yeah.
That's the other aspect. How much music did we not get because of drugs? How
Sure.
much good music? You
Well,
know?
I know we lost a couple Led Zeppelin albums at least. AC/DC would have been a completely different band if Bon Scott had stayed alive.
It's interesting.
Or Jim Morrison.
Yeah. He was young.
Yep. Hendrix.
Wasn't that a government conspiracy thing? And Morrison.
The CIA has entered the
No.
chat. Look out.
Is it that age, it's the age thing,
The
right?
three most compelling figures, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, and Jimi Hendrix, the three most threatening figures in rock music.
Oh,
all
there's the
died.
conspiracy theory
Look
coming
out.
That's
out.
all I got to
Look
say.
out.
Well, I think the government became aware of it. And said, oh,
Marty's shaking his head over here. He's look out.
let's
No,
pull back.
no.
So in
It's like you guys are going to
1970,
get canceled.
they stopped killing people in 1970. Said, well, let's just break up. Let's break up the Beatles and Simon.
They started. Okay, now we're getting out there.
I mean, Yoko
making
Ono's
Beatles
the CIA.
disband. That's right.
All right, I'm just kidding around.
I know. Jim likes to
little
get
bit.
canceled on every.
That's kind
Episode.
of he likes to push the envelope, and that's good.
But that is good. It's for good,
is good.
good conversation.
They can see us, right?
Yeah, right there.
Are you trying to hide your face? Are you trying to be
Oh, I
undercover?
got a little zit here, and I got a thing on my nose.
It's not that close.
Why am I pointing it out?
It's not that
See,
close.
this isn't for me. I'm telling you.
And you're wearing your hat tonight too.
Zibbad says if the feds are watching, he does not know this man.
Well, we shouldn't say where we are then.
That's right. We're at
We're a
niche,
suburb of LA.
At the no, we're at the Niche Wine Lounge in Holly
We are
Springs,
meeting at the
North
Niche.
Carolina. That's right.
Meeting at the Niche.
If you're in the area and you want to be a part or witness one of the filmings here, come out and check us out. We do this every Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern.
And it's a
So,
great place to
not
hang
just
out.
live on the internet, live in person, and we have delicious beverages here. One of which is the Bowie Bomb.
The Bowie Bomb. Why is it the Bowie
because
Bomb?
our nice vinyl of the week is the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but we do have Bowie Bombs on special tonight. So
And none of us are drinking them.
we are the home. Well, I don't drink.
I know.
But we
I've
are
got
the
my water.
home of the Maverick Rose signature cocktail as well. So
Oh.
my man Andy back here. Let's get the Andy cam. Andy's right there. Andy
Is he there or outside
comes up
now?
with all of these delicious beverages for us. The Maverick Rose is based on gin.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh, I had it with vodka though, and it
Oh,
was good.
there
It
you
was
go.
really good.
So
I had a virgin one because I don't drink either,
we're done.
and I liked it.
the two
Although-
musicians are
Yeah.
teetotalers.
The two candy ass musicians here.
Yeah,
Well, a
I'm
guy
gonna
asked me.
get a shot.
I was playing a show last week, and this guy asked me, he's like, "Are you drinking?" Because they like wanted to buy me a
That
drink.
was by-
And
yeah.
I was like, "No, I don't drink." He was like, "Do you smoke?" And I was like, "No, I'm straight edge, man." He's like, "What kind of rock star are you?" I was like, "A punk rock one, man. I do what I want. But don't worry about it."
You're a badass. That's
That's
what
right.
you are.
That's the
You're a
one.
badass. You are too, Jim.
Yeah. I drank for one summer in 1976. Vodka Collins.
Changed
Vodka
his
Collins.
Just
oh,
that
wow.
one summer.
Changed
That
his
was it.
life. He got it all out in one summer. That's all he
That
needed.
was my first breakup. Real, like, you know.
Yeah,
That was years ago. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
that's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that it is time for us to shift over to our sick burn of the week.
Yeah. And I get to do it this week.
That's right.
But I got to
So
get my phone because
Darcy's
I don't
going to
have
tell
it-
us about
I don't have it
the
memorized,
sick burn of the
lyrics.
week here.
I'm still coming to grips with this segment. It's a little unsettling.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't like it?
I can only think of one sick burn in music.
So-
I'm sure there's a ton of them out there. Though.
There. Well,
So
the one.
for those that are just tuning in, if you've never seen the Sick Burn of the Week, the idea is there are musical feuds and there are lyrics that occasionally allude to those feuds where certain people in music just don't get along. It happens.
What happens if you're in the same band?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you because mine is Stevie Nicks and Lindsey
I had
Buckingham.
a feeling it was going to be a Fleetwood Mac. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
you know, because
Yeah, it's good.
there's several of them,
Yeah.
but you know,
And they put that stuff out there in the lyrics of the music. Like,
they did, and there were a
didn't
lot
hide
of
anything.
videos going around last year showing, you know, her staring at him
Yeah.
and singing at him.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can't remember
So
what
what do you-
song that was, but I've got "Go Your Own Way,"
Yep.
which is written by I think Lindsay.
Yep.
And I have to read it. Sorry, I can't sing
No,
or
it's
anything.
good.
But you know, the two that stand out is "If I Could, Baby, I'd Give You My World. How Can I When You Won't Take It From Me?"
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite is "Tell Me Why Everything Turned Around. Packing up, shacking up is all you want to do."
It's like you gonna commit or are we dipping? Like,
Yeah, they
that's
did
true.
it. They did it.
And they
Facing
put it-
each other
They
and
put it right out there. And lots of bands have beef, but to be dating someone or even married to someone to get on stage night after night,
And
you have it out, and then you get on stage and you got to be like, yeah, this music is awesome.
or
Like,
you've dated more than one
oh man,
in the band.
that's right. That's why Jim and I will never have this problem because
Jim and I.
we don't find each other attractive. That's the main thing.
No.
I don't know if that's true actually.
Yeah, but no, I love that. And when you see the passion they have when they're singing to each other and unhappy with each other, and
Oh yeah.
you know they
Yeah,
were.
yeah. And I don't want to spoil future events, but there are lots of bands that have that kind of thing where
Yeah.
there's something about that tension that just makes the music amazing.
Well, it does. If you think about
all
it,
of that energy comes out.
They travel together. They're together all the time. They are their family, and I
Yes.
bet that happens much more than we even know.
Yes.
Right?
And I will say, and Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you write something, when you create music together, it is almost like a marriage. It's a child. The music that you create, there's a bond there that you don't have with other humans.
It's a connection.
Maybe. I don't know. Jim's
Well,
thinking.
to me, there's too many love songs and breakup songs. I'm getting bored with them.
Well, that's like the main thing, man. What would you?
I know.
What do you write
But
about?
everyone can identify with it.
What do you write about?
All kinds of stuff. A ghost in a man, having a relationship.
Stuff. See, that's love. That's
No,
love.
no. It's a friend.
It's not a willing relationship.
Oh, that guy.
So the
Oh.
man kills his wife and the ghost goes to the electric chair for him. That's the kind of stuff I want to.
Well, that sounds like love to me. He
Yeah, well,
sacrificed
all right.
himself.
Love with a little twist to it,
I don't.
I think there's a lot of twists. I think there's a lot of twists going on in your head.
There are.
All right. If you're playing at home and you are not sober, so obviously those of you that are sober like myself, please, continue to abstain. But if you want to play our drinking game, the drinking game goes anytime that I say Jim and I, you take a drink. All right.
What if
It's
I
usually
say?
3 or
What if
4
I
times a
say?
night. You say it, Gemini.
Gemini.
That's right.
Gemini.
So take a drink
It's
every
like-
time I say Gemini.
It was like what was Bob Newhart? No, I'm dating. It was
That's
like,
right.
Hi, Bob.
Every time the camera
Bob.
cuts to Taylor Swift, you have to take a drink.
Oh,
Oh,
you'd have been
Marty's
drunk
Marty's
last
coming
night.
up. Hold up. What you got for us, Marty?
Drink.
Gemini.
Doesn't her boyfriend?
He doesn't do it when I do it.
That's right.
Taylor Swift's boyfriend. I saw him. In the. Doesn't he have like a huge minotaur-like head to him?
He's kind of a big dude. Football players are kind of known for that.
Yeah.
So they're making a big deal about this, but he's not going to be a boyfriend next year.
What if they get married?
Because she's got an album coming out, so
What
there's
if,
going to be a breakup.
what if they get
right?
married?
Nah, ain't going to happen.
You're not going to happen. You're predicting that now. Live right now, you're saying they're going to
She-
break up.
she-
Jim's prediction is Taylor Swift will be single next year. All right. We'll
I think
see.
I think
so
she's
there's
going to be
marriage
married
calls
too.
from the bar over there.
All the girls are saying they're going to get
Yeah.
married
We'll see. It's pretty serious.
because we're all romantics at heart.
Dusty, is our puppy here? Come over. Yeah, just come over to the mic real quick. It's not quite time for the Talk Doggy to Me segment, but we're coming up. Who we got tonight?
Hey, Pop.
Dante.
We got Dante.
Dante.
Dante came back. He liked the show so much, he came back again.
Don't wear out your welcome,
All right,
Don.
cool.
No, what
Oh.
that means is,
No, Dante couldn't.
what
Dante
that
just
means
needs
is
a
we need
home.
more people to come and
Dante's
adopt
great.
some dogs so we don't have Dante again.
That's right.
We don't want to see Dante here with you again. Right?
That's right. So somebody go out there and adopt him. That's
Oh,
right.
is there
That's right.
someone
Okay.
interested?
He might live in Virginia if he does.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay.
Are
Dante
they gonna
might be
come here
moving
and meet
over
him?
there. That's right.
Friday night and meet him Saturday morning.
That and how did they find him?
I think because of his mix, they just looked at his remix
Oh. I thought you were going to say Maverick Rose Music Hour. I think so. Yeah.
That's right. Nice.
Yeah, we're
All
gonna get
right,
those puppies
Well,
adopted.
we will be back a little bit later with our Talk Doggy to Me section. We'll have Dante up here. Look, I got what we got. Mav, it's Goose. What's up, Goose? I'll see you out there, man.
So there'll be a album in 8 months where Taylor's talking about throwing a football jersey in the garbage.
It could happen.
So it could
It
happen.
could happen. Or it could not.
Or it could be a wedding album. We'll see
It
what
could
happens.
be.
All right. So you're going with married. You're going with single.
Yeah.
What are you going with?
Well,
I think nothing will change.
Single
I think
with-
they'll
They'll
keep
just-
doing what they're doing.
She'll be with someone, but it
Yeah.
won't be him.
Sure.
I think, what does she go next? Basketball, maybe? She's done actors. She got football. She's going to cover the whole thing, you know?
You know what? She's just having fun.
That's all right.
She's having fun.
It's contrived, too. She's looking for food for her songs, you know?
You know what? She doesn't need anybody.
Then she
at
gets
this
someone
point.
to help her write them.
You're wild, Jim, and you should feel wild, my friend.
If there's,
That's right. That's right.
I'll straighten her out.
You just want a song written about you.
I don't know.
He has to think about that.
That's right.
All right. We almost done here?
No.
No, we're not.
So, but I do want to go back for a second because one of the things that you're talking about is, so in your opinion, drugs, negative impact, always a negative impact though?
I've never done drugs, and I feel like all the stuff in my mind I don't need to.
Yeah.
But you know, it's been documented that the Beatles wrote stuff on drugs and ended up.
Oh, you
being-
can tell.
But I think it's still.
You can tell.
I think it's still more the talent. It didn't make them good songwriters. They already
No.
had that. you know?
Yeah.
And so,
In fact, some of them are really bad because of it.
Hold up. We got Andy.
Okay.
Over. What's up, Andy?
Psychedelics are great.
There you go. All right.
all right.
Mic drop, he's gone.
That is not an official endorsement from the Maverick Rose Music Hour. That is Andy's personal opinion. All right.
And I would guess.
That's the only time he's come out from behind the bar is to say that.
Dude was like, get trippy. All right. That
I
is
would guess
not
people-
that is not an official endorsement. If the FBI is in the chat, then
It's
you
a
know,
conspiracy.
That's right.
It's a conspiracy.
Musicians
Jim.
who suck still sucked on drugs.
Oh,
I'd be willing
Goose
to
wants to know where's the shop dog. He wants to see Bud in the shot. All right. Oh, what's up? That'd be too much of a spectacle for Jim.
He's late.
Sparrow out there says it would be too much of a spectacle for you if. Yeah. What? Andy. Yeah, the whole Taylor Swift thing.
Oh, yeah. No, Bud's laying
Where's
down
Bud?
over
Okay,
here. He's
Bud's
kind of
laying
in the
down. We'll
dark.
get Bud back in just a little bit, man.
We
hang
will.
tight. Hang tight. All right. Well, I think it is time that we move over to the very nice vinyl. Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. All right.
I can't wait to hear what Jim thinks.
So last week, this week was my pick, so I got to pick, and we've got it up there already. So that's an original pressing of The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. So this was from 1972. But I've also got the re-release version. Get it in the camera. Let's do this. See better from this shot. So this actually, the vinyl itself has the album cover printed onto it. So I've got 2 copies of this album, and I think it's the best Bowie album of all time. I'm not going to say it's the best album of all time, but I think
Why?
it's the best
Why
Bowie
is it
album
the
of all
best?
time. The cohesiveness. I don't skip anything when I listen to it from beginning to end. I listen to every song. I think I like it. I like the way it's programmed. Personally, I think it's good. One of the things that I really love about this album is that at the very bottom, and I'll put this on the camera in just a second, it says to be played at maximum volume. So I think if
At
Jim
the time,
if Jim
it was-
doesn't like it, that's because he probably hasn't listened to it.
At
You see
maximum
right
volume.
there, you have to listen to it at maximum to be listened at maximum volume.
Well, I had
There
a
you
little
go.
cheesy little stereo. I got it like Sears.
You
know,
got to crank it up, man.
One speaker didn't work
So that's
So you couldn't, yeah.
back then.
Yeah. But you're a big Bowie guy.
I am. Every Friday, I go to Char Grill here locally in the Triangle, and I get something to eat, and I listen to Bowie every single week.
And how long have you been doing that?
Over 10 years.
Because
So many years ago, I was having a really bad day at work, and I went to lunch, and I got Char Grill because it was the closest thing, and it was delicious. And Bowie came on the radio, and I said, this just made my day infinitely better. I said, now I can go back to work. I can finish the day. I go into the weekend the right way. So now whether I'm having a bad week or a good week, I punctuate it with Bowie and Chargirl.
I've seen that.
It's
and
amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
See how
definitely.
it makes you.
And if you ever want to
makes
see
you
the
feel.
pictures, go to Instagram. So you can check out the link for that.
Do you get the same thing every time?
I do, usually. I really like their hot dogs.
Oh.
So I always get a hot
I
dog
thought you were
every
gonna be
week.
doing a burger.
No, I get a hot dog every week. So they got
Okay.
Carolina Packers bright leaf hot dogs there, and they're delicious.
All
So
right.
we're eating local.
Eating local.
But yeah. Hey, Steve V is out there. What's up, Steve, man? We are talking about the rise and fall of
Steve?
Ziggy Stardust. Yeah, the Steve.
The Steve V?
Steve V
Is he
right
here?
there. He is in the chat. He
That's
is
so
live in the
cool.
chat.
Thanks,
Hey,
Steve.
Yeah,
Hey,
so that's,
Steve V.
fantastic.
Another local musician.
I was going to say, fantastic local musician. If you get the chance to go out and check him out, he is locally famous, soon to be internationally famous. Very talented guy. He plays all around. So check out Steve V. So yeah, we're talking about the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. 1972, David Bowie's banger, absolute hit. You reprogrammed the album?
He's got it written down right here.
I see that. Talk to me, Jim.
I'm holding back because there's a lot I would say about this.
Well, that's what we have the show for.
All right.
Come on, man. Talk to me.
So, you said you liked the way it's programmed. If the songs were in a different order, you'd still like it, I'm guessing.
I would, yeah. It's not going to change. I like it, yeah.
So, I'm a stickler for programming. Like, some bands do it good, like the Beatles and the Who. Some not as good, like the Stones. David does it horribly, I think, on this album. But I like this album a lot. I got this in 1972 when I was a fresh-faced lad of 20 years old. And they said, yeah, I like this guy. And so I went back and got Hunky Dory. Said, oh, I don't like this. Then I got his next two albums, which were Aladdin Sane and Diamond Dogs,
Yes,
I think.
yeah.
Said, oh, I don't like these.
Huh.
So Bowie's like a big disappointment to me, but I love this album a lot. And the title's too long. It should have been just Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah, the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the
he
Spiders from Mars. Yeah.
Put the two punk songs back to back, which was foolish. So I reprogrammed it just for fun, you know, and I dropped it. Don't come. What's it called? Don't Come Easy. The song you didn't write.
It ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
Ending side one.
Don't hit us for copyright, please. It ain't easy.
Yeah.
See, you know what was interesting for me? Because I have not listened to a full album
Yes.
of someone that I didn't already know. Because, I mean, I don't really know David Bowie.
Right.
In
You
years.
said you like Modern Love, though, right?
I love Modern Love,
Yeah.
but that's very commercial.
Well,
This is not.
so yeah, because during the '80s, he had his blue-eyed soul phase where you got like the big production values and yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that.
So I listened to this,
Yes.
and not knowing any songs, but then I realized I did know one of the songs, Suffragette City.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a more commercial hit, maybe.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh, the wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
Did he?
Wham,
did he?
bam, thank
did
you,
he
ma'am.
coin that?
I don't know.
I was like, wow. Do you know?
Did
Did
he-
he coin wham
Was
bam,
he,
thank
was
you,
he the
ma'am?
first person?
No,
to-
that was just kind of a
It's
phrase
just a phrase.
Okay.
out there.
All right.
Okay.
I didn't know. But
Cool.
yeah.
So, interesting note about that song is that that wasn't originally going to be on the album. They needed to. It's either Suffragette City or Starman, depending which article you read, that weren't on the album. There was going to be a Chuck Berry cover instead.
Really?
So I
Really?
Which song? Do you know?
Round and round. It's,
Interesting.
so this storyline about the alien rock star, I mean, none of it makes sense cohesively, but it doesn't matter. It's the songs that make
Unless
it
you're
work.
on drugs.
I kind of say.
I can't say that because
You
I'm
might like it better if you are.
I don't know. I already like it a lot.
But I
so.
liked it a lot, and like I said, I was just disappointed that he never hit the dramatic heights of these songs for me.
So this is again a situation where you feel like something was promised and then
Yeah.
not delivered. It's like, okay, this is good. I can't wait to see where they go from here. And then
So I
you
have
didn't like where
that
they went from
and
there.
his greatest hits, which I like 4 songs off.
Yeah.
Modern Love being one of them.
I love Modern
Mm-hmm.
Love. So I thought this was interesting because the one song I actually, now this is not going to do it, liked on the way it sounded was, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with that, was 5 Years.
Yes.
I actually
Ah.
liked it. Do you know what it's about? Well, according to the internet, it describes a brutally wretched world, one in which its inhabitants have 5 years left before apocalyptic disaster
Yes.
sets in.
Okay, so yes, I do know
okay.
what that's
I
about,
was
yeah.
like, I didn't get it from
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, I was
I was
listening in my
playing
car.
that in the band in 1972.
Did you know?
Jim does a fantastic
Oh,
job
yeah,
on
I
that
love
one.
that
He still
song.
plays
Do
it.
you?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Bowie song.
Is
yeah.
it really?
Yeah,
Because
it's awesome.
that was the one song I really liked.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I liked Suffragette City. I like because I knew it.
Yes,
and
yeah.
it's fun. But that was out of all the songs on here, listening to it for the first time as a very new person listening to it.
So my favorite.
That's the one I like.
Sorry, what were you were
No.
going to say something about 5 years? You were covering it in a band.
Yeah, just saying, I plucked that right off the album, and in the first band I was in.
Yeah. So my favorite song on the album is "Lady Stardust."
You like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Suicide, I think, is one of the greatest ways to end an album too. It's just
Well, it's a great ending
Well, I
title.
read that
except for the end where he's like, "Give me your hands."
that was going to be the day in the life for the album.
Yeah.
Which I can see what they were going for, but
Mm-hmm.
compared to a day in the life, it's like a pimple on its butt. But it still has to end the album. It's the right one, And he's talking.
It's on your
I got
playlist
a cigarette,
here.
and I could see his yellow fingers with a cigarette, And
All right, so let's see. So I've got the album here. So I'm going to go through the original album order, and
right.
then you tell me what you came up with. So side one, we'll do side one first.
Yeah.
So side one is 5 Years, Soul Love, Moon Age Daydream, Starman, and It Ain't Easy.
Okay.
How would you program side one?
I start with 5 years. That's still the killer.
Yep.
Then I go right to Ziggy Stardust. Tell you what.
Why
you
you're
know,
there?
Which is near the end of the second side.
Because Soul Love is a slow tempo, like
is.
5 years.
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah.
It's true.
it's not a mistake, but it just
Don't want
doesn't
them
work.
together?
For me. Then
Yeah.
I throw in one of the punk songs, which is Star.
Uh-huh.
Then I go to Lady Stardust. Mm-hmm. And then side one with a bang with Suffragette City. And
Okay.
what's the last song?
It Ain't Easy.
It ain't easy. I
took it
dump.
off.
It's
You
off.
took it off.
Get
Okay.
out
Gone.
of here.
It's gone.
All right. So side two, we start with Lady Stardust, then we do Star, Hang On to Yourself, Ziggy Stardust, Suffragette City, and then Rock and Roll Suicide. So how do you
So,
do?
Lady Stardust is a good song, but it's laid back
It
winter.
is. It's a ballad.
Side two, bing, Moonage Daydream. Bow, bow.
I'm an alligator.
Then go to the
Yeah.
Wimpy Soul Love, which is a good song, but it's laid back. Then the other punk song, Hang On to Yourself. And then Starman next to the last song, which gives you a good lift. And then
Yep.
you
Then you die.
Then you get
Then you
through
die.
the what's that one called?
Rock and Roll
The
Suicide.
one with his cigarette in his hand.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
wait,
got
hold
it all
on.
written down to the minute on
Sing
here.
sing those first few lines. Let's give him a
From which one? Off Rock and Roll Suicide?
yeah, the cigarette and everything.
Time takes a cigarette, puts it in your mouth, pulls on your finger, then your cigarette.
He
Yeah.
makes me laugh sometimes.
Oh, wait, hold on. Zinbad says that apparently Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am was the title of a song by Hank Penny in 1950.
Oh.
It's likely not the origin, but it is. It is.
Yeah, that
interesting.
was like
Thanks,
a,
So it was around.
a phrase for whatever.
I
back in
wasn't
the
sure.
day,
I
Dave.
wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But
So-
that's what I know it from. And I realized that when I was
Hold
listening
on,
to the
hold
song.
on. We got this is the joys of the having a
there
live
you go.
studio. Let's
There's
look at it.
Tama.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
The earliest occurrence, 1948, the play Mr. Roberts, which became a movie later on, where a sailor character says, "Well, there goes the Liberty. That was sure a wham bam, thank you, ma'am."
Wow.
All right,
All
Mr.
right.
Robert.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Wow.
This is why we have the
We
best.
learn, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. This is why we do it live.
Yes.
Because you can't make this stuff up, man. That's awesome.
Starring Henry Fonda, right?
That's right.
There's a lot of people here.
That's
and they're
right.
hanging
It
out,
is a good
watching,
turnout.
listening. And
There's nothing like being
puppies.
in the live, and we could have been doing this in a studio. I think there's something
I
really
like when
special about
people
doing
come
it live
up
in
and
the
talk.
bar.
I
Yeah,
think it
it's
adds a
great.
lot.
Without the audience, it's nothing.
It's just us.
So whether you're out there in the internet or whether you're here in person, we love it. We
Oh,
love
that's
having it.
awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you for subscribing, those who have
So-
subscribed.
So I'll give you this list, and you can.
I will
program
listen
and
to
try
it in
like
that order. And
You can
see.
do with
I
it what
will.
you will.
I am.
Are you
I'm
going to do that with every album?
Let me do this really
No,
quick.
not
So
necessarily.
I'm going to put
Just
this
this
up.
one?
So this is Jim's order, so that everybody's. You can pause on the playback. Let me get it so that everybody.
I do
can-
like the album though a lot. It It was
There we go.
actually influential for me.
So that is Jim's
as a
order.
20-year-old, yeah.
Okay.
That's what Jim says the proper order should be for Ziggy Stardust. So if you are playing at home and you want to listen to it the way Jim says we should listen to it, that's what we're going to be
It'll
doing.
make it better.
So, speaking of which, Jim is going to pick our very nice vinyl of the week. What do we got for next week?
I'm going to have to go with the first big kicker. I know people are bored of hearing, oh, it was that night on Ed Sullivan when I first heard the Beatles. But every musician that we like probably started
60,
from that.
was it 60 years ago?
60 years
Just
ago last Friday.
Last Friday.
Was it
the
really?
Ed Sullivan. Yeah.
Wow.
So the first Beatles album.
I'm going to go with Meet the Beatles. Even it wasn't one of the legitimate English albums, but it's the one we got.
Right.
Along with
Awesome.
introducing the Beatles.
Was
So
that their
so-
first album here?
Kind of.
Here's
Hey,
Bud the
there's
Shop
Bud.
Dog.
We were asking about Bud the Shop Dog. Look, there you go,
baby.
Goose. There's Bud the Shop Dog tucking
here,
in. We got to get the Bud
Hey,
cam
Bud.
going.
Go.
There he is.
There you go,
Bud,
baby.
Bud's a good boy.
That's Bud's
Yeah.
a good boy.
So, yeah, so we'll be. So if you're playing at home, we'll be doing Meet the Beatles
Yeah,
next week.
I'll get in all the
We'll all
nooks and
listen to it.
crannies,
We'll
but
talk about it. I'll reprogram that album.
Ooh, I'm
not gonna
expecting
happen.
that.
That's
That's not
okay to
gonna-
reprogram that because
No.
they didn't program
Yeah, well,
it.
that's true, that's
Capital
right.
did.
And Andy will have some type of delicious cocktail for
Ooh,
us. themed
Andy, a
on
Beatles,
Yeah,
a Beatles
absolutely.
drink.
So we will have that going on.
Wait till I pick mine.
I can't wait. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. I look forward
Jim's
to it.
not going to listen to it.
No.
I'll
We will
listen
try.
to
I
as
think
much
that's
as
what
I
we'll
can.
try. That's what I was going to
You
say.
know
I
what?
think we'll try. actually.
I listened to this and I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm going to listen to the whole thing.
Nice.
And I did.
I think it's the show and tell aspect.
Yeah.
Of, hey,
Yeah.
this is a thing that I appreciate.
Yeah.
We're friends.
Yeah.
I want to know
Did
what
it
it
for
is that
you.
you like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
sure.
was good.
Yeah,
and
it's
for
good.
you.
Okay, well, that brings us to our next to the final segment here, which is going to be the Talk Doggy to Me section. So if I could let's get Dante back on the couch right now.
Dante!
That's right. Dante's coming in. Make room for him here on the couch.
Come on the couch, Dante.
Dante, I'm going to put my mic down, so go just a sec. Oh, there he is. Oh, no, come here, Dante.
I think he's gotten bigger than last week.
he does look bigger.
It's been a
Okay,
whole
come
week.
here, buddy.
Because he's how old?
Come here. There's Dante. He's so
Oh yeah,
sweet.
go to the mic. Go to the mic.
Okay.
He's so cute.
wanna
He
say
makes
something?
he makes no sound.
is
He
so
loves people.
So sweet. All right, so, and we are, hold on just a second. There we go. All right.
No, he does love to give kisses. You give Maverick some
I
kisses?
see that. There he is. You give me a kiss? No, he's turning away there.
He's such a good boy.
So tell us a little bit about Perfect Match. There are partners here for Talk Doggy to Me segment, and Dante is available online there.
Perfect Match was founded here in Holly Springs, I think about 15 years ago, and we rescue dogs of all ages and all breeds. And the coolest thing is, I've worked with several different rescues, and they never turn a dog away. If they need a heart surgery, if they have parvo, no matter how expensive their medical needs may be, we never turn a dog away.
That is incredible. They are amazing. They have huge hearts, and we are so thankful to have them as partners on the show. So please check out all of the available dogs there at Perfect Match. That is perfectmatch.org. We get the logo there. Dante is available for now. He may have a home coming up. Is that what you're saying?
We're hopeful. He has
Yeah.
a family from Virginia coming to visit him on Saturday.
Nice.
So we're hopeful he may have a home
Yeah.
this weekend, but I have more puppies coming.
Look out. If not, it looks like Jim might be.
Oh,
be-
yes, always good to have a backup. You never know.
But you all have lots of puppies, younger and
yes,
older,
we
correct?
Have,
That's right, that's right.
We have dogs that are young, dogs that are old, ones with special needs, everything in between.
That's awesome. And you can go on your website, right?
Absolutely.
That's right.
Perfectmatch.org.
So, and we got the logo up
Yep,
there,
and
so
you can see all the animals we have available.
Oh, look at him burrowing into you.
That's right.
If you don't
Oh.
see what you like, we get new ones every week.
That's it. Perfect.
You guys
Excellent.
are angels. You guys are angels.
That's right.
You really
Thanks
are.
so much. All right. Well,
Oh,
we
look
will,
at him. He's so happy there. You're so happy there.
I was gonna send him back, but I don't know. He seems to like you, Jim.
He does seem
You
to
might have
like
made a
you.
friend. That's right.
Maybe if Virginia doesn't work out,
You get a
Just saying.
deal here. That's right. Keep
look at
local.
him. He is like just
He is
on your
digging it,
lap.
bro. No, there
Okay.
he goes. There he goes.
I do
All
love
right,
dogs.
So,
People I'm a little iffy on.
Yeah, I agree. Animals are better. They really are.
all right. So we want to say a big thank you to Perfect Match, and you can find your best friend there. Remember, every life that you save actually saves two, because you make room for one more in the system that gets them out of the shelters and into loving homes.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adopt, please. Don't
Please
shop.
adopt, don't shop.
Don't
That's
shop.
right.
Don't shop.
Cool. All right. Well, that is the Talk Doggy to Me segment of the show. We'll be doing that every single week. Not lots of puppies available for
There'll be
adoption.
more than Dante.
And if you are not local here, you can, of course, donate via pawfigmatch.org. But there are all kinds of rescues around the country. So wherever you are, I'm sure there are tons of loving animals looking for homes.
Rescues,
near you,
and don't
so
forget going to the
that's
shelters.
right.
They
That's
are
exactly right.
overcrowded, and the rescues can only do so much. So
Absolutely.
please rescue.
That's it. All right, shout out. Oh, I see you out there, Goose, talking about Aerosmith, Get Your Wings. I'm sure we'll do that at some point, man. We might have you on the show to do that. And if you are interested in being on the show, go to MaverickRoseMusic.com. We have some forms there that you could fill out. And if you want to be a guest star on the show, we will consider having you out.
We'll consider
That's
it.
right. I'm not going to say that we will have you out because I don't know you necessarily.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
we will.
We have to like you.
That's right.
We have
That's
to
right.
like you.
So we'll do an interview process, and if you pass the test, we'll have you on the show with us to hang out.
If Jim gives the okay.
Yeah, you're not
That's
getting
right.
by me.
Jim gets the
He's the
Jim
hard-
gets the
he's the
final
tough
the
one.
final
He's
thumbs
the
up.
tough
thumbs down
one.
there. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't like anybody.
We're just about to wrap up the show here. It is called the Maverick Rose Music Hour, and we are coming up on an hour. What we do
That
like to
goes
do
by
at
fast.
this section of the show, we want to write a song. So Jim's got his guitar there. We're going to get that tuned up. Darcy's going to help us pick out some topics, some things that we might write about. And if you have any ideas out there in the internet land, feel free to
Give us,
comment now. And same thing here in the bar.
No, I think
If you've got
Tama and
any
Al, you
ideas,
guys
maybe
give us
just
a word to sing
something
about.
to-
Give us a word for them to sing about. Friendship.
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 I
That's
don't.
good.
I don't have a chord for that.
Nothing nice. Nothing nice.
You got nice.
All right, someone yell out a chord. What was it?
Your guitar's not on.
C
C minor.
C minor.
Oh, I
That's
thought it
not
was
a
B minor.
friendship.
I thought it was B minor. I don't even know chords, so I can't say.
All right, give me-
Old lady friendship. Ooh, old lady friendship.
Okay, I like that. Go ahead, give me some guitar, Jim. Let's see what we got.
All right.
What are the 2 words?
Well, that ain't. We got friendship and we got old lady.
Ooh, that'll.
Yeah, there you go.
That'll.
What was the chord?
And these guys are just winging
C
it. They do
minor.
amazing with this. They
All
could do a
right,
whole
C
show
minor.
around it.
Maybe we'll see.
You know, the Beatles could write happy chords in minors, but I'm not the Beatles, damn it.
That's right.
Give me another chord.
F.
C minor and F.
I met you down at the nursing home last week. People said that you were old, that you had peaked. I said that you don't know my
Producer here. Due to technical difficulties, the performance segment was cut short of the main broadcast. But here's the rest of the show.
there during the song. So if you were here, you would be catching the tail end of this show. And we are now going to shift to the live performance portion of the evening. So we'll be moving over to the
Here
stage.
at the Niche.
That's right. Here at the
These
Niche
guys are
Lounge.
great,
So
yeah.
please come back and see us again next week. We do this at 7 p.m. We'll be talking about the Meet the Beatles. We'll have all kinds of stuff going on there.
Live on Monday.
So that's right.
And hopefully Dante won't be here.
That's
because
right.
he will be with his
Hopefully
new
we'll
home.
have some new puppies there. So
That's
go to
right.
MaverickRoseMusic.com, RWRNC for Rescue Wood Rehab.
Like us, follow
And
us, subscribe
that's right,
to us.
Niche Wine Lounge. We got all the various links there. So thank you so much
Thank
for your
you all
support,
so
and we
much.
will catch you next week. Here
Thank
at
you,
the
Zen.
Niche
Thank
Wine
you, Zen.
Lounge. That's all right. Thank you, Zen, for moderating and taking good care of us there.